boys in the booth. Talking all the ball, you know we spitting the truth. Rub and fight hard, showing love for the game. Owls in the sky, playing for more than the fame. Play sharp on the field, eager to rise. Leeds chance out, I see a devoted lives. Barnsley Bridge Warriors.
Good evening and welcome to Terrace Talk. There's a really bad echo going on while we're live. If you can just mute your mics for me, that'll be helpful. So tonight we have got a Arsenal fan with us, Ollie Mers.
Hello.
Good evening.
Top of the morning to you.
So it's your first time on the show, so we haven't actually asked you your predictions. So just quickly for us,
okay.
Can you run through where you think Arsenal are going to finish this season?
I would love for them to obviously come first, but realistically, I feel like we've got to live up to the name of Bottle Job FC, I guess, and come second. So that is literally where and genuinely, when I've done my prediction, that's where I put Arsenal anyway, is second.
Second. And so the top three, what are you predicting that to be then?
So I'm going with Liverpool first, Arsenal second, Man City third.
Super. And tonight we have also got another virgin with us. Hutch is a Leeds United fan. He's come on tonight as Birchie seems to have gone missing. If anybody sees Birchie, just tell him he should have been on at 8 o'clock. So Hutch, where do you think Leeds United are going to end up this season?
I'd probably say about 15th, 16th. I'd be happy with that. Obviously, with Calvert-Lewin's just signed, we're still after another striker, another winger. So if we can pull them through the door, I think it puts us in good stead to have a decent season.
Super. We got a couple of comments in. All Leeds, aren't we? We got Alex Hutchinson, not like Nathan to go missing. So I think you must do that regularly. We've also got Phil tonight. Hello, Phil, who's been standing in for me whilst I was away.
How are we doing, guys? Everyone all right?
Good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks.
Super. We've got Dan, the Brighton fan. We're going to take their best player off them in a couple of weeks. How you doing, Dan?
I'm good, mate. You hope you're going to take the best player off us. It's
No,
still in the works.
You know when there's a knock at the door, it's a different knock when Man United come calling. There's a different knock.
Yeah, one where it sends their career downwards.
And we've got John, the two-team wanker. How you doing, John?
Great, thank you.
And Carl, are you there or has he gone missing as well? He's here, look. His little alien head popped back up. Go there.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah. So, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to the debate tonight.
Super. So, on tonight's show, we're going to start. We do the tweet of the week. So, we're going to decide between us which out of these tweets, which you guys have selected, you feel was the best tweet. So, we'll start with the first one. It's from Mark the Pittsmore Owl. Sheffield Wednesday protest this Saturday at Hillsborough. I believe that going onto the pitch is the best thing to do. Say bang on 3:10, 10 minutes before kickoff on a Saturday. Chansiri will get a huge fine. He got a £50,000 fine after amazing playoff game. Basically they want to go on the pitch. What do you think of that tweet? And do you think that's a good idea for Sheffield Wednesday fans to do that? I'll ask you, Phil, first.
I really genuinely feel for Sheffield Wednesday. I feel for the position that they're in. Hitting Chansiri in his pocket with these fines, I still think it's going to take more. I don't know what. I really don't know what. Storming the pitch, sometimes you've got to spit your dummy out the pram and do that kind of thing anyway, just to make yourself be heard. But do I feel as though it's going to make a big impact? Media-wise, yes, but for the club, I still just don't see what it's going to do. I think someone of hierarchy needs to step in and just simply say, no, enough's enough now. You are not looking after this club. You are not doing what your job is and what your job should be. We're going to take the club off you. And we will assign somebody temporarily. You know, you lose a manager, what happens? The chairman assigns somebody temporarily to step in until you find a new manager. Should be the same with the owners. Someone should step in and end it properly.
Anybody else, any thoughts on what's going on at Sheffield Wednesday? Do you think going on the pitch is the answer?
What I will say...
Go on, John.
No, go ahead.
I would say going on pitch, it does attract that extra attention because I do feel someone needs to step in. And I feel like EFL or FA is not doing anything at the minute. It just seems to be watching it rot, from my opinion anyway. So I think it just grabs that extra bit of attention, because I know there were talks of not even playing against Leicester. Obviously, they didn't play against Burnley in a pre-season friendly, refused to travel. There's only so much that the club can take, because otherwise it's going to go like Morecambe and like Bury did.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think what's happening at that football club, you know, I did a show on it. I think it's dreadful, and I think something has to be done. I think disrupting games, that does bring the spotlight on it. I remember us doing it with the Glazers, and it does bring that spotlight onto it. So I wish them all well that do it, and I hope that obviously they can get a solution to what's going on there. On to the next tweet we got was from Michael. The issue that the cult has had, they no longer want to see the football club succeed, just certain individuals. You can see the double think when they criticise the club structure. When one failed, it was a lack of funds. When one succeeded, it was in spite of the club. So I think that is, from Michael, which is a Rotherham fan. John, any opinion on that?
We can discuss that Monday.
Yeah, you want to discuss
What I
that?
would say though, just to go back to the Wednesday comment, they're a team not looking like they're playing. They're playing like a team that's not got all this noise around them. They had a really good result in the cup yesterday. The first game against Leicester, that was a phenomenal. That young goalkeeper Charles is a really good talent, and I think going on the pitch might be the answer, but I don't think all you're going to be doing, right, they're short of funds, yeah? So is that funds going to be taken off what should be going to the players or the staff? I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer. If a fine is really the answer, is what I'm trying to say.
Just go through a couple of comments. So Luke Birch, terrible what's happening. No club should go through anything like it, which I agree with. I'm with Phil. I don't think it will change anything, I'm afraid, going on the pitch. I don't believe it will change anything. So, yeah, I mean, like you say, it is a difficult situation. And like I say, I do hope they can come out of that stronger. On to the next one. We've got, this one is directed at Phil. So Phil can take banter. So this is Phil's tweet of the week. Ask him next week where his jawline is and why his chin goes directly into his chest. So come on, Phil. Tell us where your jawline is, mate.
Okay. So, and this is off the back. That tweet was off the back of a Derby County Football Club fan. So I'm going to address that to start with. Last week, I made a very brash comment about Derby County probably being relegated next season. And my thoughts on, I feel as though Derby County should end up being a non-league club. And then I also associated them with Morecambe. And
right, let me just stop you there, Phil. Quickly,
yeah.
Can I just stop you? So are you going to apologise for that comment?
So let me get to what I'm trying to say.
So
Morecambe FC are going through a lot of trouble at the minute, a lot of problems at the minute. And I feel as though my comment associating Morecambe FC with Derby County was completely not called for. So I apologise to all the Morecambe fans out there for associating them with Derby County in what is a very, very tough time for them.
So you've not apologise, Phil. Absolutely
Yeah, I
not.
apologise to Morecambe.
Yeah, not
Jesus,
to the
Phil.
In regards to my neck and my jawline, listen. You know, you don't get looking like this from eating salads, mate. Right? You get looking like this from eating and enjoying yourself. But in regards to that tweet, whilst I'm very thick-skinned, as you can tell, not much loose around my neck, I can take tweets like that and I can take banter like that, and it really doesn't faze me. But in the world that we live in, that's not the same for everybody. So this is a football podcast and will always be a football podcast. That's what we've made it for. We've made it for the fans. We've made it for fun. When people start using personal comments to attack people because they don't agree with something that they say, that's where you've lost the battle. That's where you've lost the fight. That's where you've lost the argument. So for me, when I see comments like that, yeah, I have a good laugh about them. And that's by far my tweet of the week. Absolutely hilarious for me. But for other people, that could hurt or harm people in any way, shape or form. You just don't know who you're dealing with and who you're talking to. So I don't condone it in the slightest. For me, I don't really care. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, Derby County is still going to go down. So it you know. And I did predict that Stoke City were better than Derby County, and actually that Stoke were going to beat Derby 3-0. They didn't. They beat them 3-1, but still proves that Stoke are better than Derby.
And then on to the next tweet, talking of weapons, and Ryan Ingram. Kev, I'm so disappointed in you for even entertaining these jokers and go on their podcast. Everything they do is for controversy and cheap likes and bites. You are better than this, pal. Don't lower yourself to depression. And that was from Ryan, who lost his battle with me and Phil yesterday, but still thought he won because he's not very intellectual at all. So, yeah.
I go back to my point. He got personal, and therefore, in my eyes, and probably most people's eyes, he lost the battle, but never mind.
So for me, I mean, we'll go through the panel. I would say the tweet of the week is, I'm going to give it in support of Sheffield Wednesday because of the plight that they're in. Does anybody disagree with that?
I agree, but I also want to just back up Phil a little bit because obviously my other side of my team on the Monday night, it did get quite personal, and people really need to realise that we're not getting a script here coming on the live. We just get told like we will discuss things tonight. We're not getting told by anyone else what to say or how to say things. Our opinions are our own opinions, and I think, yeah, you need to just be cautious of your feedback to ourselves because we are people. And I even said to Phil and yourself, Lee, the other night, I was like, "What? How has it got this deep?" Do you know what I mean? It's only a podcast. But yeah, I'd say the Wednesday one and then Phil's next because I love Phil. So you know.
Yeah, so I'll just go through a comment. Alex Hutchinson, it's a shame when people stoop as low as start making personal jibes over someone having an opinion on a trivial thing as football. Well done, Phil, though. You've been the better person. So I think that shines through, Phil. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people would take it personally. But I think me and Phil are kind of used to, I'm the most hated man in Rotherham and Phil's just
the most hated man in Derby.
In Derby now, yeah. Derby. So on to our next segment. So obviously this week, Leeds United have been linked with the male model stroke transvestite looking Calvert-Lewin. I don't know if I should say that. It's not politically correct, but Calvert-Lewin. So my question to everybody on the panel, I'll start with Hutch because obviously I know he's a big Leeds fan. Do you think it's a good signing or a gamble for Leeds to sign him? Obviously, he's got a very iffy injury record. He is proven at Premiership level, but his record, I would say, is probably as bad as Patrick Bamford's. Do you think it's a good signing or do you think it's a gamble for Leeds, Hutch?
I think it's a bit of both, to be fair. obviously it's a gamble signing anyone in my eyes because the form that they did last season, that might never happen again. So in my eyes, it's a bit of both. But I do think it will be a good signing. We all said the same thing about Solomon start of last season when we signed him. He's had a terrible injury record, and we attempt to keep him fit for probably 95% of the season, if not 100%. So I think if we can do that with Calvert-Lewin, then I think it will be a good addition. He knows where net is, and he definitely keeps defenders occupied. So I think it's something that we've never had. And the experience about a league, that's what we need.
So you're happy Hutch with that signing? Do you think it's an upgrade on Bamford?
Oh, it's definitely an upgrade on Bamford. Because I think he had that one good season in Prem, but I think we overachieved that season, if I'm honest. We finished 8th, 9th, something like that. And I do think we overachieved. And I think Sheffield United did the same thing when they went up. They overachieved. They finished like 9th again and then just went straight back down.
Got a Leeds fan in here. Horrendous signing. His record is worse than Bamford, and also Bamford doesn't wear his mum's pants.
I mean, I'd like to come in here if I can.
Yeah, Cole. Can't see you, but I can hear you.
You can't see me?
No, you've just got a black screen.
I can see myself. Anyway, listen, by the by, I think it's a terrible signing. I think it's a terrible signing for 2 reasons. Number one, he's only ever had one good season, and this will go one of 2 ways. One, he gets injured and you get no return from him. That's the worst case scenario. And the best case scenario, he stays fit, and a fully fit Calvert-Lewin. I just don't see him scoring 10 goals in a Leeds side, and that's what you need, goals. I just don't see any return from him at all. And I hope he does well, but for me, you need a better striker than him. And for those reasons, I think he's a poor signing.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to our Luke. Well, speak at Devil.
Yeah, it's not an upgrade. It's just another Bamford.
Yeah, see, obviously, he thinks that we need a different striker, and I still think we do need another striker because Luke will probably agree with me. I don't think Peru's a number 9. I think he's more of a number 10. And I think he brings more to the table than what Aronson brings to at number 10. So we still definitely need another striker because Falk made it clear that Bamford's not in his plans. So we still definitely need another striker. We are in market for another striker, but Leeds being Leeds, we just monitor him for 4 years first, like we did with Ryan Kent, and then no comes of it. So.
Haven't you signed Nemecha?
Yeah, but
I think he's a brilliant striker.
I mean, I'm not convinced at the minute, but time will tell this season.
I think he's 10 times the player of Calvert-Lewin.
Well, it's just about options, isn't it?
Well, anyway,
fans come in and said they would love to sign Solomon. Do you think he's good enough for the Premier League, though? He did it in the Championship for you, didn't he? But obviously Spurs don't seem too keen on him.
No, I mean, I don't think he's really had a good enough shot at Spurs. I know they were in and out at team when they first went there, but I'd like him. But I think there's better out there that we could possibly get.
And then we've got one from Luke again. Pirro is a 10, but will score more goals than Daniel Calvert-Lewin. What do you say to that, Hutch?
We'll see in season.
You're confident?
I am. Everyone's got the views, haven't they? But I think it's a decent signing, providing he stays fit.
You know who he reminds me of, and you'll probably laugh. He reminds me of Wilson. He could have a really good patch, score your Leeds a few goals, right, and then probably get injured, and then you'll not hear of him all season.
Yeah,
I feel like it could be if you're in it, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Leeds. If you're in a relegation scrap and he's fit, he's the guy that will score your goals. He will.
Well, there's a reason we've signed him, and it's a free anyway, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. My take on it is, I think it's a good signing. I think everybody said the same when Forest signed Wood, that he's not going to do it. And look at the season Wood had. Sometimes players fit at different clubs, and you can see that Calvert-Lewin has got the ability. It's his injury record and a consistent run of games, but he could just fit in at that club. I think I'm sure he's from Yorkshire as well, isn't he? So he probably may fit in a bit better than he does where the bin dippers are.
Lee, ask the panel. Go through the panel. Let's have a prediction on how many goals we think Calvert-Lewin will score this season. Then
go on then. So I'll start with Phil. How many goals Calvert-Lewin?
5.
Okay. Dan?
He's an interesting one. Listening to all the comments, I reckon I get 9.
9. We've got someone in the comments, Rotherham Gaming. He says 8. John, what about you?
Keep him fit, 12.
No chance.
Hutch?
I think I get double figures. I work for about 10 or 11.
Luke says less than 10. Go on then, Cole. Tell us yours. Oh,
5.
sorry. 5?
5 or 6, max.
5 or 6. Ollie Mers?
Yeah, I was thinking about 5. Maybe I don't think more than 7, realistically.
I'm going to go 10. I think he'll get 10. I think he'll do all right. We've got someone in the comments that's put a 2. It's a bit harsh.
So off the back of those predictions,
international.
off those predictions there, I mean, it's fair to say then most of us don't think it's going to be a good signing.
Yeah,
No,
I think they could have got better options, honestly. Like Coupri, for instance. I know he signed for Bournemouth, but they could have gone for Coupri or something like that. And I think he could have probably got more goals than Calvert-Lewin.
Good call. Good call. On to the next one. So we're going to talk Newcastle now. We've got John, who's a kind of a Newcastle fan on odd day. Isak's behaviour is currently refusing to play. He's currently refusing to train, I believe. Is it out of order, or do you think he's in a right to force a move out of Newcastle?
Listen, right. If Liverpool have got 130 million, come and get Isak so he can leave.
Happy to take the money and bounce.
We'll sign someone. We won't sign someone of similar quality because there's no one like Isak, I don't believe. Yeah, I would take the money. I don't think the thing is we mentioned this last week on the podcast. I think Phil and we touched on it about what's true and what's not true on X and all that jazz. He is carrying a thigh injury. I don't know how much of this I'm refusing to play bollocks is true. He's contracted to Newcastle United, so if Liverpool want him, come and get him. But they've just bought McAtee for 95 million euros, so I don't know. He'll probably sit on the Gateshead women's team for half a season.
Ollie Mers, Arsenal fan, what do you think?
I mean, thinking about what he's doing right now, it's very similar to what Gyökeres was doing. But with
he did
build up to the sign up to Arsenal, going on protest, refusing to be part of the team, not going to training sessions and stuff like that. And there's been obviously a lot of talk at the moment about players and being able to try and get themselves out of their contract, because if you us normal people are getting jobs, if we don't want our job anymore, we could just freely go and apply for other jobs and go and like put in that notice and then go off and do another job. And the problem is these players are fixed into their contracts and stuff, but it's the same situation. Like Isak is probably looking at himself going, I have the ability to probably go on, win more silverware. Obviously, he did win something with Newcastle last season, but he's got a bit more ambition, I guess. And he's probably seeing Newcastle, the fact that they've lost out on a lot of their targets at the moment and going, well, okay, what's going here on Newcastle? Clearly, we're not going to probably aim to win the Premier League or something, or do we have the capability of going to win Champions League? Well, clearly not, but I could try and go to Liverpool, who won the Premier League last season, improved their squad, and I could probably go and win Champions League or the Premier League or something like that with Liverpool. So I guess he kind of has a small right, but it is a bit of a dickhead move, right, that he's doing with the behaviour. of it.
Yeah. Dan, what are your thoughts on it? You think he's doing the right thing, or do you think he's a bit out of order with it?
I mean, I completely agree with what's already been said. Like, you, as a player, this attitude's not going to get you anywhere. Like, if you clearly want to move, then you go about it the right way. You don't just say, I'm never going to play for this club again, or say, like, if you play me, I'm just going to play at like 5%, 10%. He clearly doesn't want to be there. He hasn't wanted to be there. So why now is it that no one that's coming in for him, all these so-called teams like Liverpool want him, as we know, why it's not just been done? Why have they then gone and signed other players and not just taken his up? Because for me, it's going to impact on the entirety of Newcastle anyway, because the team morale is going to drop if you've got a player and the manager who can't control said player that's saying, I'm not going to play for you guys. That's not good going into a Premier League season. It needs to be sorted sooner rather than later, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a comment here from Luke, and this is what I think as well. So no one will want him because he just do it in a year's time if Barcelona, Madrid. I think he should have put Man U in there as well. Come in with him because it's the wrong attitude. And for me, it's all right. Like with you, with Gyökeres, it's all right when he's coming to your club, but when you're in that position of you're the club that it's doing it to, it's not right. And for me, I don't ever want to sign players like that because they've got no loyalty. And to be fair, I get footballers, there's not much loyalty from the clubs because if their form isn't great, they'll release them, they'll drop them from the team. So it's a two-way thing with football because everybody always blames the footballer. But actually, sometimes the footballer gets a bad deal as well. So there's not really much loyalty from club or player because they're both in it for the money. At 90% of the times, the football clubs want the money. The players become just a piece of meat to them, really. Once they're no longer needed, they'll get rid. So you can understand sometimes the players looking after themselves as well. So it's like a dog-eat-dog world in that football industry because that's how it goes. Phil, anything from you about it? What do you think? Have you got any views on that?
Not massively. I mean, I completely agree with Luke Birch, to be fair. But my opinion is nice and simple. If these rumours are true, where he has spat his dummy out like a mardy little footballer that they can be sometimes, thinking they're bigger than they are, thinking that they're better than they are, it's always, a choice few players that they're the big names this year. We had Haaland last year, and then back end of the season we had the whole stay humble gate. It's that whole process. They have this kind of persona and this attitude. If the media comments are true, or there's got to be some level of truthness to them, then just let the lad go. Yeah. If Liverpool want to spend silly money on him, just take the money and run. He clearly does not want to be there.
Rotherham Gaming Nick, he says sell. So I think the patience has probably run out from the fans. I think now it's not good for anybody that he stays. I think it's very clear he wants to go.
Can I just add real quick? It was just something you were saying about. So his agent has been banned from 3 football clubs. His actual agent has been banned from two of these former players he's represented. You know what I'm trying to say. He's been banned from 3 football clubs. He's not allowed anywhere near these football clubs. So for me, either Isak's been represented inappropriately and ill-advised, or his agent's taking him down the wrong path. But he's adored in Newcastle, absolutely adored. I couldn't believe we signed him. I really couldn't believe we signed him. And like you say, but he's one of those players that you could say, yeah, he could go on to, like, players come and go, right, all the time. We will see it all the time. But I think for us, it's the way he's doing it, right? Like, look at who was the last big name to leave us? I don't even know. I can't remember. But like, if Bruno goes, it'll be the same thing. It's like, how dare he leave? But I think it's the manner that's upsetting the fans, not the player. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there is a way to go about it, and I think obviously this hasn't been it. But I think he will. I think I'll put the question out to you guys. Do you think Isak will be there by the end of January? Anybody thinks he'll stay?
Well, I mean, I'll just have my two pence before I answer your question there, Lee. The difficulty Newcastle have is they've got an asset that's worth 100 million. Now, if he wasn't worth that much, you can let him rot in the reserves and let him run down his contract and let him play the reserves. But the longer they do that in his contract, they're losing money on the asset. But what I do like about Newcastle is they're not being held over a barrel. Now, the problem isn't selling. I think Newcastle will sell him, but they've got to get good money for him. And what I don't like about Isak is Newcastle have put him on the stage. Without Newcastle, he doesn't even get this move at Liverpool. And he's just shown a lack of respect for the club that have made him a household name in the Premiership. So I think he will go because they won't want to hold on to a 100 million asset and let his contract run down and, in essence, his value run down. I think he'll go in this window. I think it'll be in a few weeks, but Liverpool will have to pay top money for him.
Yeah, I agree. Luke Walker wanted to go for ages and stayed. That didn't help him. He's saying, force the move for me and win trophies. So, yeah, I can get that side of it as well. And that's where I say it's a dog-eat-dog world. I think eventually if a player wants to go and the club get the right money, I think for all parties it is better that you do sell. I think we had the situation with Gibb White at Forest. I think, for me, I think you sell them. So on to the next.
So just quickly, I think the problem is with the Isak, I think it's only Liverpool as the viable option because I don't think any other team would go in for him or have the funds to necessarily buy him. And you're talking about 100 million plus, like a lot of foreign clubs as well don't necessarily have that kind of money to go and buy him. Like Madrid nowadays, their policy is going for free agents or waiting until the contract expires, like they did with Mbappe, like they've done with Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I think unless Liverpool come in, he's going to be staying at Newcastle.
Super. Staying with you, Ollie. Arsenal. Will Arteta finally win a trophy, or do you think he's going to last the season if he doesn't?
Now, this is a question that I've always been asking myself for like last few years, because it's like, how long do you allow the project to continue without showing any dividends on it? And I think this is now the season that probably is it, because we've gone out, we've signed Gyökeres, we've essentially got that proper striker now. He's got nearly everything that he's wanted, and I think if he doesn't deliver this season, it does definitely have to be asked, should at the end of the season we part ways and try and get somebody else in that can help us with trying to get us over that final hurdle. But I do think that there is a potential chance of winning silverware. I reckon it's probably likely something like the FA Cup, maybe. I don't think we're good enough to properly win the Champions League, because you got like Real Madrid. You're going to probably have Liverpool probably doing a good season in Champions League. PSG will probably have another good season and a good run in Champions League, I reckon. So I don't think that's on the cards. And also, we've shown a few times that we just don't seem to always fall over when it comes to the Champions League. Carabao Cup. Problem is no big team really takes it seriously until the semi-finals anyway, because we always play reserve teams. So anything can happen up until that point. Could we win the Carabao Cup? Possibly, but we'd have to get to the semi-finals probably before we take that seriously. So yeah, I think probably an FA Cup would be nice, and I guess that could then be a stepping stone for next season to try and push on and get maybe a Premier League title or something. But I would like to see some silverware. But if we don't, then yeah, the questions do have to be asked.
Can I just ask you? Arsenal fans must be the most patient fans in the world, because your fans seem to love this manager, and he's won absolutely nothing.
I mean, you say our fan base is patient. I'm probably patient, but a lot of our fan base are very hot-headed. I reckon if we went on like a 5-game losing streak or something like that, straight away the cards would be out, Arteta out, and stuff. I know somebody who's very much like that.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done anything, has he? He's not won anything.
Other than the FA Cup in that partial first season that he.
Well, I mean, if you win an FA Cup at Manchester United, you're still getting sacked. It's not really...
but I think we've also been a bit unfortunate. Like, I know they're throwing out the title with the bottle job, but 2 seasons ago, when we lost out to Man City, it was that second half of the season from Christmas onwards, we only lost 1 game, and it was that game to Aston Villa, and it was that 1 game that cost us. And if it was a different universe and we won that, we would have won the Premier League trophy. But there has been the season before that where we absolutely lost it after April onwards, where we lost to the likes of Newcastle. I think there was a Brighton thrown in there and stuff like that, and we absolutely dropped off massively. And similar to like last season, I think we did well, but then probably a few scenarios went against us, especially like early on with a lot of the red cards, like for instance Declan Rice red card, which was against, I'm going to say, West Ham, where it wasn't against West Ham, I think it was against Brighton, where he apparently kicked the ball out when actually it just came off the back of his heel. And it's like, well, great, that red card then affects the momentum of the game. We then go on, drop the points in that game. And I think those kind of situations also meant that if situations didn't go against us, we could have probably had enough points to win it. But it sounds like I'm creating excuses, I guess. But it's what football is at the end of the day, isn't it? You got to deal with what's in front of you.
You mentioned the Villa. You mentioned the Villa result there. For me, that season where we picture Arsenal and City played second half of the season, and Arsenal played not to lose. They played for a draw, and that was where I knew we'd win the league. Because you had the team, we were vulnerable. You had the lead in the league, and I thought if you'd have turned us over and got a result there, you would have won the league. But you played not to lose, and at that point, that's where I thought you'll bottle it.
Yeah, to be fair, that was 1 game. I agree with that.
We got a comment here: Arteta will be gone this season. He's done nothing.
I disagree with that. I think Arteta's been brilliant for Arsenal. If you look at where Arsenal were before Arteta took over, I think did City beat them 5-0? And what I say, 5 or 6-0.
Yeah, We defensively we were absolutely woeful, and defensively now we're like arguably the best defensive team.
I think front
in
to
the
back,
league.
you've got a brilliant team. I think
This is my thing. Sorry to interrupt, Carl. This is exactly my thing. I've been sat here listening. It's my one thing is Arsenal have got a good team. They've got a good set of players. So the only excuse that you've got is on the manager's head.
No, I don't agree with that, Phil. I see your point. I see your point.
We drew a lot of games last season as well. I think we drew too many games last season.
There's so many good teams now. So like Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Villa, Newcastle, all these teams can beat all teams on any given day. Arsenal have got a brilliant team. They need to stick with Arteta. I'm sure you'll challenge for trophies. And if
Carl,
you do get picked,
Carl, you only want them to stick with him so Man City can win a trophy, because they ain't winning the trophy with Arteta. And that's the only reason. It's not coming from a good place.
Right, well, let me put it a different way. Let me put it a different way. So let's just say, devil's advocate, you don't win a trophy and you get rid of Arteta. Who are you bringing in that's going to do a better job, who's available, who's going to want the job? And number 2, is he going to have a different kind of player that he's going to want? Are you going to have to go through a rebuilding process again? Because managers like their own style of play. They might want different players. And you might go through all this process again. You're on the verge of doing some good things.
Yeah, but what we're trying to say, what I think what Bush is trying to say and what I'm trying to say, if you get to game week 19, just before Christmas, and you're not showing as a team and as a manager that you can deal with such a team, then I'm sorry, there's only one way, and that is out. Whether it be mid-season or the end of the season, it doesn't really matter. Yes, okay, it affects the players, it affects the fans, it affects this, and you might have to have a rebuild and everything. But the categorical thing that you've got to look at is, if you're not performing as a manager, you've got to go. Simple as.
May I ask a question to our Arsenal fan?
Yeah.
My question to you, Mers, would be: obviously, we're talking about Arteta. Last season, you guys lost the semi-final to a certain Newcastle, right? His excuse was the ball was wrong, the ball was incorrect, the wrong wind, right? Whatever it was. Now, the second leg, we had one of our weakest teams. You should have put 4. We said this privately. I said you should pump us 4 or 5-0. We beat you. Surely, if it's not clicking and the ball's wrong, where's it going wrong, mate? Because this season, you're right? It's new faces. You've got what you want, a brand new striker. If you sign Eze, that's going to be a phenomenal attack. Yeah?
Yeah.
If he starts going at Christmas, like Phil says, the wind was blowing the wrong. Surely you can't keep going. We'll hang on to him for another year. Surely.
I think, to be fair with that ball situation, it was terrible. But I think a lot of managers in the league are just like that. Klopp was full of like excuses at Liverpool whenever they had bad games and stuff. But I guess it's just what managers do to probably try and deflect a little bit away from the players, and they don't always want to put the blame on the players. They'd rather try and blame something else entirely.
Yeah, but as a fan, are you happy to keep going down the same road of being second? We're not making finals of cup finals. You're challenging, Champions League, you're getting knocked out, and you're saying Arteta's going to win you something. Are you actually going to stick with this man for another 2 or 3 years? Seriously.
I personally, like I said, if at the end of the season we haven't got any silverware, then yes. But I feel like it would be a bit harsh to sack him halfway through a season or something, unless it was a really terrible season where we're doing a Man United or a Spurs and sitting near the relegation zones.
The thing is how I see it is, you go on about Spurs, and I'm not a massive Spurs, person anyway, but you're going about Spurs doing a Spursy and all this malarkey. All I'm seeing is Arsenal just making an arse of themselves.
Yeah, this is the thing. So let me just address this. So you've mentioned Spurs and Man United. In the last 3 years, Man U have won more trophies than Arsenal, and so have Spurs.
Yeah,
they've won more trophies than you. So you're mocking clubs that have actually got silverware in the cabinet. You've got nothing to show but Arteta's poor wig. You know what I mean?
I wasn't necessarily mocking. I was just more saying, like,
not picking on you,
position, basically, like, like team being in a certain position in the table. Like, if we're like at Christmas 5 points behind Man City and the board are going, oh, do you know what? We might need to change direction. I feel like that would be a bit harsh on Arteta. But I definitely think at the end of the season,
there's got to be a trophy coming.
Yeah, there's got to be. Like I say, with everything that he's got now, he's got essentially all the pieces of the puzzle that he's been asking for. He's got that proper striker, because when we signed Jesus, I knew he wouldn't be like the man to bang in loads of goals, because when you want to compete for trophies or the Premier League title, you need that kind of like 20 goal a season attacking player. And
which I think you've gone out and got. And I think
exactly.
You're looking to pin that on him. And I think he's a good signing. I think he is a good player. United was linked with him as well. We'll go through some comments. Luke, Man United should be grateful for any cup at the moment, Busher. Well, we other than last year, we won the Carling Cup, we won the FA Cup. We got to the final of the other cup last season, so we're still getting finals. And we'll all agree this is one of the worst Man U sides. So all you Man United haters, get ready, because we're
boring.
Back to the top. Trust me, this guy.
2 weeks ago saying you got a right good squad, and now you're saying it's one of the worst Man United squad you've seen.
No, last season, it's been one of the worst squads. But the signings he's made now, any one of you would take them at Leeds. Every signing we've signed, you'd have them at Leeds, you've had them at Arsenal, you'd have had them at Forest, you'd have had them at City. Those signings, what we've made, we're going to change. They're going to change our fortunes, and we will.
Yeah, but we can't afford them, and we know we can't afford them. We know we can't afford them.
When we take the Brighton lad as well,
I believe that you can.
When we take the Brighton lad as well, you may as well give us a trophy before we kick off. Just give us one.
It's time to
jump. Pains me to say it, but I think Scum will do well this season, and they will finish above Arsenal.
No, not a prayer.
Nobody's feeling that.
No, you shouldn't be feeling that.
I'm feeling that. They're definitely finishing above Arsenal. Arsenal haven't got the pull anymore. I can't personally see a big manager going there.
I mean, talking about managers, potentially, if we were to get a new manager, the Atletico Madrid manager might be tempted, because obviously we got the director from Atletico Madrid now kind of in charge at Arsenal. So I don't know, he could potentially tempt him away, Diego Simeone, to Arsenal.
You think he'd come?
I mean, with the defensive squad that we've got, potentially.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good manager. Like I say, if he wins a trophy, he'll stay. But I think if you have a difficult start, which brings me on to the next segment. So we're going to go through, ask everybody their opinion. I'm going to start with Dan, the Brighton fan. Who do you think is going to be the first managerial casualty this season? Which manager you feel is going to lose his job?
This is the biggest debate that I've been having, and I don't know why, but I don't see Frank doing well at Spurs. I don't know. Like, I didn't watch the final. I admit I didn't watch the final. Everyone's saying Spurs did really well, but I just don't see how he changes that team and past January, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it because I have anything against them. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. Phil, about you.
Sorry, my microphone was off. First manager to go. I'm going to go with Amorim. I think he will be gone by game week 2. Genuinely, I think.
Can we turn this live off? Phil, have you been on the drugs tonight?
Listen, Man United final boss. Wind your neck back in. Let me explain. Yeah.
Go on.
So Man United have got a very tough start to the season. Very tough start. Okay. They've signed all these, and I use inverted commas, world-class players. Yeah. They've forked out all this money. They've not sold anybody, so they've not compensated that's stupid amount of money that they've spent. They have a manager that came out of a season, had a very poor season last season, came out of that season wounded, absolutely devastated with what he'd got going off. He's tried his very best to get in all the best players that played the best last season, and he's going to throw them all together and expect what exactly? I just feel as though he's completely out of his depth. And I think in the first 10 games, that is going to scream to the directors. And we know what the Man United directors are like and how fickle they are. They're more fickle than Rotherham fans. So I think you really need to grow up a little bit, Lee, and actually start smelling what's actually going off in front of you and realising that Man United ain't as good at the present time as you think they are. And I think Rúben Amorim is one of the reasons behind that. And I think just the directors as they are, how hot-headed they are, I think he'll just be gone after game week 10.
Nonsense, but I'll move on to Carl, who's going to talk more nonsense, I can guarantee.
Okay, so I'm going to break it down in a couple of points. So where United have faltered in previous seasons is buying young players in not so strong leagues, bringing them in thinking they're going to adapt to the Premier League straight away, which we've seen doesn't happen. Anthony, Hoyland, these players were like the best thing since sliced bread, and they couldn't do it. What they have done this season, which is they brought proven Premier League players. They're not world class, but they are good players. So they will do a good job, but United's fall from graces. They used to buy world-class players. Used to be breaking transfer records. These players that they're buying now, they're not world-class players. They could become world-class. They're very, very good. And Mbeumo, Cunha, they're good players. But they're not players that are going to win you the Premier League this season, Lee, unfortunately. But the better signings that you have had for the last few seasons, that's my take on it.
Hutch, what about you?
Sorry, Carl. Just on the back of that. Sorry, Hutch. Just a quick one. Do you think Amorim will stay then?
So yeah, who are you picking for the first manager?
Who do I think will get sacked?
Yeah,
first
manager. Yeah, first managerial.
I'll come back to me on that one. I need to have a good think.
Phil, stop messing about with my comments. So
no, I think that is a valid comment. Bushy will never grow up, Phil. If he was going to, he would have realised a long time ago, Man United are shite. Thank you so much, Alex.
There's so much hate for Man
United. Favorite person on X, on our podcast.
Apparently, I'm a secret Leeds fan.
You can't have three teams.
I can't. I have got. The thing is, Leeds hate Man United, right? And I've actually got a soft spot for Leeds. I've gone and watched Leeds play abroad, everything with my mates. So I don't get the hate for Man United. They call us scum. They're horrible. It's like horrible.
It's not just Leeds, though, is it?
No, it's all of you. You're horrible.
Scott Parker will be the first manager sacked.
Who?
Scott Parker.
Scott Parker. Interesting. Hutch.
Yeah, Scott Parker for me. I don't think Burnley's got it in them to even compete in this league. And I think they'll panic. I think by Christmas he'll be gone and they'll get someone in. Hopefully try and turn it around, but I don't think they've got anything near this league's quality.
I like this Hutch fella. He talks sense.
Also, Phil, that Alex is my missus.
Mate, you've got a blinder there. She is my favourite person who watches this podcast.
For me, I'm probably going to say the Wolves manager, Pereira Vitor, because they've lost Matheus Cunha. They obviously have signed Strand Larsen on a permanent, but they haven't really replaced Cunha, in my opinion. Then the fact that you're going to probably see them in a relegation scrap, I reckon, with the newly promoted teams, and the established Premier League teams are kind of fighting for that privilege of staying in the Premier League because obviously all the money that it brings in. So I feel like Wolves will probably get a bit scared of being dragged into a relegation fight and probably sack their manager. And they have done that kind of the last few years where they've sacked their managers quite early on to try and get something new going on.
Fair play, yeah. Good call. John, what about you?
There'll be two sackings. One will be a championship manager who will get sacked before Scott Parker. So that's my Premiership manager. And I think the Sheffield United manager will get sacked probably by about October.
John, we're talking about the Premiership. I know.
Okay, so Premiership, I'm going Scott Parker. But I just on the topic of sacking the Sheffield United manager.
See you, John.
I knew that would come in at one stage.
Okay.
So for me,
sorry, John.
You got to hear me out here. It's not coming from a bitter place, but I believe it will be Daniel Farke at Leeds will get sacked first. I don't think they even wanted him when they got him promoted. So when they start losing every week, which they most likely will lose more than they win in the Premiership, the Leeds fans will turn on him straight away. I don't think they wanted him sacked. I remember speaking to Birchie, he was wanting him sacked on promotion party night. Sack him now, you know what I mean? And I don't think he's proven at that level. And I think he will be the first to go.
I don't think he'll see season out, but I don't think he'll be first to go.
No.
And to be fair, I think West Ham manager's in danger as well.
We've just got Nigel coming in here. Only time Bushy speaks sense. There you go. Someone agrees with me.
About these managers then, do we all seem to think that there's going to be a lot of manager shift this season? Because we're all kind of saying different people, really.
I think there will be. I don't think West Ham manager will see season out. I mean, they only survived relegation last season because of Bowen. And he had to come back from injury and carry on scoring. But I think without his goals alone, they'd have been in massive trouble.
Our good old friend Bez has put on, I don't think Frank will last long.
Don't you start Alan Sugar?
That's Poppy. She's got
an Alan Sugar fan.
Loving for Bez. She's got a loving for Bez.
So on to the next one, and we're going to go to Dan, the Brighton fan here. So Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, or after Belieber from Brighton. Brighton value him at £120 million. So as a Brighton fan, what are his strengths? Is he worth 120 million? And do you think you're going to keep him at Brighton? Because it's a different knock when United come calling, and you know this. Come on, Dan, tell me.
So in no particular order, Belieber is arguably one of the best midfielders that we've got in our squad. I'm not saying the Premier League, I'm saying in terms of the Brighton squad. So if you had to pick a player, I'd say Belieber would get into the majority of teams in any league, to be fair. His ball distribution, the way he maintains the ball when he's in possession and can ping a pass is amazing. The way that he doesn't rush things as well. So when we're on the counter-attack, he can build up from the centre-backs. So he'll have Lewis Dunk passing the ball, he'll hold it up, wait for a run, and then ping the ball and still carry on. He can shoot as well. I don't know if you've seen any clips of his goals, but he can shoot. He scored one from like 45, 50 yards last season. Just straight.
I'm liking the sound of this, Dan. I'm liking the sound of this.
But then there's the negatives. Man United want him, so that's already a negative for me. Because if he joins them, well, I can't see you guys staying up because hopefully he's a little bit of an agent for us, help you guys in a bad way. But no, in all seriousness, if Man United do successfully get him, it's going to be I said this last week when I came on in my first time. I said if Man United do take Belieber, it will leave the huge hole in our squad. He is the concrete that keeps our team together for me, like the cement.
Yeah.
But as I said as well in the podcast last week, we do have players that can fill that role. Maybe not to his degree, but we can have like Jack Hinshelwood, for example. He's the most versatile player we've got. He could fill that role easily. We've got Gruder. We've got players that play up front that can fill that role. So if he were to go, it's a lot of money as well. We've got to think about how much money this will be. As I was saying, also with like to Chelsea that keep funding us. We're using that money. We've improved the training ground. We've improved facilities. We buy players that people haven't heard of, and then other clubs want them. So for me, I feel like if he does go, it will be a huge loss as a Brighton fan, but we have already got the cover. It's not like we were in this situation where, no offense to other clubs, but you panic buying. We've already got someone from the under-21s or someone that has already played Premiership football for us that can fill that role.
Yeah, I think from the reports I've heard, we've already agreed personal terms with him. I think it's just down to the fee now. And, you know what I mean? The United knock comes, and it's game over, isn't it? You've lost.
How much are you asking for him?
120.
120.
And where are you getting that money from?
What do you mean? We're Man
They
United.
don't pay their staff.
Yeah, they're going to just make other people redundant to free up the funds.
Government funding half of your new stadium.
Who's that? Government. Yeah.
And who's funding this signing then?
You know when people think of England, they think of Man United. It's Man
They've got
United.
the government loan coming.
You know, you go to your look. Oh, you support Man United. It's Man United. Everybody. You go to China, Man United. We're the biggest club in the world.
Uchi, how much do you think Man United have spent so far this season?
Yeah, me and Phil's worked this out. So what I want to say to everybody, I'm going to let you think. Who are the top 3 net spends? So this includes players going out, coming in. So the net spend, who is number 1 currently?
Isn't that Liverpool?
No.
Sunderland's got the biggest net spend. They've spent quite a lot.
No, they're 6th. They're the 6th biggest spending club in the Premier League currently.
Arsenal?
So I'll run through you. So number 1 is Manchester United. They've spent the most net spend.
It's the only time they're ever going to get number 1 in the next 5 years.
Number 2 is Arsenal, a 2nd. City a 3rd. They always have to cheat. Spurs a 4th. Chelsea a 5th. And Sunderland a 6th. Liverpool are actually 7th.
The only reason why Liverpool are so low down is because they've sold a lot as well as bought a lot, so their net has been dropped down.
Yeah, because they've sold Diaz and Nunes, haven't they?
Nunes and a couple of others as well. So,
Trent as well.
So how much have you actually spent then, Bushy? Forget about what you sold, just what you spent.
214 million so far.
Yeah, 215 million.
Yeah, can I ask a question to Bushy?
Where from?
Did you not see the clip that I sent in the WhatsApp group? It's some Nigerian prince has contacted them and said that he's got billions of pounds. All they got to do is send the bank card, bank details.
Yeah, being scammed by BT Kenya.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
You're going to be like the English club of Barcelona soon, where you're literally scraping barrel to register clubs. That's the situation you're going to get to.
You know that one, that 115 charges that Man City have got. In a couple of seasons' time, that's going to be 511 charges, but for Man United.
No, don't touch them. We bring the most money in than any other club. We're the biggest.
Listen, we've had this on the revenue and debunk that myth straight away. But anyway, I just want to make a quick point. So United have spent how much?
214.2 million.
Right, and let's just say, for argument's sake, they did get this beleaguered and spent 100 million. They'll probably spend a little bit more. They could spend $500 million and still finish 15th.
No. Not happening.
Can I ask a question? I'll let those jokers joke around, but I've got a serious question. Because we discussed this in last week's podcast about if they did bring in the Brighton lad. Where do you think then, Bushy? Where does Bruno play if they bring in all these big names? Because we discussed it last week. Does Bruno still have a feature in your team?
Of course he does. He's one of the best players in the Premier League. Come on. He plays. You fit him in anywhere.
But he was about to leave. He was about to leave the club at the end of last season. He does not play the Amorim way, and you're telling me that he's still going to stick him on when he's bought all these world-class players, all this stupid money, and he's going to just stick him on the bench?
I would have personally sold him for the money at his age. At the age he's at, I personally would have took the money and run, but. He's not going to play Bruno. I guarantee you that.
Is it just me I don't get all the hype about him? I don't think it's good as what Man United people make out.
He's quality, mate. He's quality.
He spends more time up forward than Boulders on pitch.
Yeah, he's not. He's a Mardy player, but he's quality. His stats don't lie. He's a quality player.
Leeds, sorry to change the subject, but I do have a vital question that I've been begging to ask all night.
Go on.
John, you had Rotherham United FC last week, and now you're supporting Newcastle United. What is it? Leeds next week? Just curious.
No, mate.
Not coming nowhere to us.
Sunderland next week.
You changed your football team like the weather in England.
It's got too close to Bushy. That 2-team fucking thing.
So on to the next segment then. So hang on, I'll just run through a couple of players quickly. So Bushy has the Nigerian Prince on speed dial. Okay. Typical scum player, Marde. What is this gang up on Bushy night tonight? What? I agree, was lost against Bogle in the friendly the other day. The Nigerian Prince is who Bushy was impersonating. And Bushy supports about 5 teams. I don't actually, I support 2. And apparently 3 because I've got a soft spot for Leeds. But I'm starting to lose that soft spot because you keep calling my team scum, which I think is not very nice. So the next question was going to be Mo Salah. Is he Liverpool's main man still, or do you think Mo Salah is not the main man with the signings they've made? I'll start with you, Carl, because you're opinionated tonight.
I think I've been quite quiet tonight, actually, but
keep disappearing.
I know, sorry, I'm a wanted Manly. But anyway, good to the question in hand. I've actually took Salah out my fantasy football team now.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he was poor in the Charity Shield. He's, 33, 34 now? 33? I just can't see him having the same season, and that Charity Shield sealed it for me. I don't think he's going to have... I don't think he is the main man there now.
Who's the main man then, Carl? Liverpool?
I think Wirtz is going to be the main man, and I think that McAtee looks good. And I think they're building a really solid team, and this will be Salah's last season in the Premier League.
McAtee is better than Sesko.
I've not seen enough of either to make a judgment yet.
Fair play. Hutch, what are your thoughts?
I think he should have gone at the end of last season. I don't think he'll still do bits. Don't get me wrong. He's always going to have that quality. You don't lose it, but I don't think he's going to be the main man this season. I agree with Carl. I think Wirtz will be main man for Liverpool. He'll pull strings. He'll basically decide game. I don't think Salah will be a talking point anymore. I think he'll just be a squad player.
Anybody else think different to that? Anybody else think he's going to have a good season? Because everybody's predicted Liverpool to win again.
I think he will won't perform like he did last season, but I think he will perform well at least for the first half of this season. I've just got a feeling like, he's 33. I just feel as though he's not going to have that same oomph that he sort of had the last season, maybe the season before. I just don't see it. I kind of agree with Hutchie a little bit, really. I think Florian Wirtz, I think he's going to be the new man at Liverpool. The new man. I just feel as though that's where it's going to go. I think Salah will do okay, but I don't think he's going to be the world. That he's not going to be the number one. That's for sure.
So on to the next one we've got is mainly for Carl and Phil. This one really, James McAtee to Forest. Is it a good move for both parties? Start with you, Carl. Are you happy to see McAtee go? Or do you think we're going to make another mistake like the Cole Palmer?
Yeah, so I've watched a lot of McAtee, Cole Palmer, Foden when they were in the youth setup, and they won everything. And I rated McAtee better than Cole Palmer, so that just gives you an indication on how highly I rated him. His nickname, the English David Silva. I mean, David Silva's my favourite player, and McAtee is a talent and a half. If we have sold him, I'd be absolutely amazed if we've not got a buyback clause, because the guy is a talent. I didn't think we'd let him go for anything less than 40, 45 mil. And from what I understand, it's 30 million plus add-ons. he was probably going to find it tough with the players that we brought in midfield to get a starting berth, but he's always played well for us. He was popping up with goals. I think Forest, if they've got him for 30 million, you've got an absolute steal. I think he's going to be a gem of a player. I think you'll keep him long term because he's that good. And if you do look to sell him in the future, it will probably be City buying him back.
Or United.
He's a City fan. He won't go to United.
Phil, I'm guessing you're happy with...
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I think that is an absolute cracking sign. I think it's more 37.5 with all the add-ons and everything. Or 37-ish, somewhere around there. My feeling, my thoughts behind it is, I think finally, some of the clubs are realising that the players that come out of City, I think we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, the players that do come out of City tend to go on to big things. Yeah, they either stay at City, do massive things, or they move on and do big things. And I think McAtee himself, I think he's one that will definitely fall under that bracket. I think it's a class signing for Forest if it goes over the line. And I'm buzzing to see him in the team, to be fair. There will guaranteed be a buyback clause, absolutely. There'll be some form of clause in there, a sell-on clause, whatever it might be. But I mean, of all the players that City, having the players that they've got, of all the players that City, I'm not going to say are benching, but are going to not necessarily consider their first players and their first choices, McAtee for us is that perfect player that he falls under that category for City. Yeah, we'll gladly take him. I think we're also in talks with Rico Lewis as well, which again,
yeah, we've rejected that bid hands down.
Oh, have you? Right, okay.
Yeah, 20 million you bid, but I think that's more of a case of we've not really got right backs. No. I think if we had a renowned right back, we'd probably talk to you for Rico Lewis. But while we've not got a right back,
do you rate him for Rico Lewis? Do you rate him?
He's very talented, but he's very raw. So he does make mistakes. He's very good going forward. He can play in midfield as well, so he's versatile.
But I think he's fitting well in at Forest because of what they've got structured at the back already, and that defensive midfield, that kind of area. I feel as though he would fit in well. But like you say, you're probably not going to sell him because of your situation with right backs.
Yeah, I think I do think we'll go in for Livramento. I think near the end of the transfer window. And if we do go in, then possibly Rico Lewis could go out. But yeah, it's all dependent on us signing a right back.
One for you here, Carl. A question, Dave Bez. Is there a buyback clause on Palmer? Did you do one? No,
I don't think there is.
Just seeing on X, Forest are close to agreeing 37.5 million for Ipswich attacker Omari Hutchinson. What are your thoughts, Phil? And do you have any clue about him?
I don't know an awful lot about him. I've done a small little bit of digging. Listen, at the end of the day, we've got a lot. What we've got to think about this season, and I think that's the reason why you've seen a lot of movement from Forest at the minute, is we're not just going to be trundling through the Premier League. We've got the Europa now as well, and that's something that we've seriously got to think about, and the possibility of dropping, losing players due to whether it be international play, whether it be injuries and so on and so forth. So for me, I think spending the money and getting these decent players in. I don't know an awful lot about Omari Hutchinson, to be fair, but again, if he's quality, or if he's moldable, if he's moldable to the Forest way, I'm all for it. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I think if you get sort of and you get McAtee, you might just stay up.
I think if Forest get McAtee, they finish above United.
I think if Forest get McAtee, we're back in 7th again, mate.
Right, listen. You know the hate for Man United tonight. We're gonna drop a little forfeits in for everybody. So especially Hutch. This is to Hutch as well. So if Leeds finish above Man United, yeah. If you finish above Man United, I'll wear a Leeds shirt live on here. But if we finish above you, you wear a Man U shirt live on air. You up for that?
Well, I'll have to be, but how is that fair when you spent 300 and what million? If you buy that player?
It'd be a bit more if they get, you know.
Why don't you have the same bet, but let Uchi have Man City?
Why would he want to support Man City? Support Leeds?
No, he doesn't support City. But if City finish above United, you wear a Leeds top. If United finish above City, he'll wear a United top.
No, what we'll do.
Oh, you don't like that one, do you?
If United finish above City, you wear a United top, and if City finish above us, I'll wear a City top.
I'll take that all day. You won't get top half.
We're finishing third, mate. You're finishing about.
Oh, Bush, hang on a minute. Before you signed this Sesko, you said you were finishing third, and you said if you sign him, what did it say, Phil?
First,
winning it.
First, he said.
We could even win it.
Somebody pinned that comment. We could win it.
They could win it. Yeah, that's what it was.
We could.
I don't think you're anywhere near it.
And on that bombshell.
Honestly, I'm not even joking. United this season are going to shock you. Honest to God. We've got the best.
They're going to get relegated.
Exactly. They're going backwards.
Best young manager again. He's going to say it.
Best young manager in the league.
He's got the worst keeper in the league.
See, yeah, but we're going to sign a keeper.
Who, Donnarumma?
We just said that. Maybe Donnarumma, maybe someone. He wants United. You're not going to pick Donnarumma. He's already said it. He's come out and said it. You're not picking City over United. Come on.
You think that every player wants to go to United?
Of course they do. Every player does.
If every player wanted to go to United, why aren't United signing Isak instead of fucking Cunha?
Because we don't want Isak. It's not good enough. He's not as good as Sesko.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. It's not as good as Sesko, mate. I bet you Sesko will score more goals than Isak this season. Tell you that now.
Oh, you got 120 million spare, apparently. Buy Isak. There you go.
No, I don't want him. He's a decent player, but he's not as good as Sesko. No chance.
Fuck off.
Telling you. I think Sesko will probably score more than Haaland.
I think this podcast is getting ridiculous now. I think this is.
I'm telling you. So
it's comedy gold.
Yeah. Hang on, we've got some comment. Isak isn't good enough. He's better than Haaland. He's not. That's so funny, Alex. Unlike Bushy, he loves his Leeds shirt. Apparently, I love Leeds shirts. Who else we got? He'd never do it, Poppy. He'd disappear off the face of the earth if he wore a Man U top. So Hutch, don't you stick to your bets, mate. If Leeds don't finish above United, you've got to wear the Man United shirt on here.
No.
So you're not confident you're finishing. Do you think Leeds are going to stay up this year?
I think we'll stay up, but you'll never see him in a Man United shirt.
Stick to your guns, Hutchie.
And on that note, we have had a great episode of We Hate Manchester United, starring a Brighton fan called Dan, Ollie Mers from Arsenal, Hutch from Leeds, and Cole from Manchester, and Phil from Mansfield. Nottingham.
Oh, I'm not from Mansfield, you bellend.
So, thank you everyone for watching. We will be back on Monday for Miller's Monday. Has anybody got any final thoughts before we drop out? Other than United are going to finish second?
I did want to say one last thing to John before he went off. Sunderland to win the first Tyne-Way derby.
You think Sunderland? I think Sunderland have. I mean, what did I say? I think Sunderland are the 6th highest spenders.
They've signed well, them. They've signed very well, Sunderland.
Finger from us.
And I think Xhaka at middle of the park, that quality, that.
Yeah, that's a good signing.
How they pulled in from Leverkusen, I'll never know.
I'm looking forward to seeing their the striker they've signed on loan from Barca.
Yeah, it's a good signing. John Sullivan believes Sunderland will do well, which I think they will. You spend that sort of money, they're not going to go down. So that's the end of this evening's show. We'll see you again on Monday. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will be back Monday. Thank you for watching.